Imagine in the 18th century, farming remains the backbone of society, with gradual improvements in agricultural techniques. Horse-drawn carriages and sailing ships are the fastest ways to get around on land and sea. Cities are smaller, with fewer people crammed together, though some urban centers would still grow due to trade and commerce. Life expectancy is indeed lower, with high infant mortality and limited medical knowledge. The pace of life is slower, and the air is generally cleaner in the absence of industrial pollution. However, cities would still face sanitation issues, and deforestation for fuel and building materials would be a growing concern. Craft guilds and small-scale manufacturing would continue to develop, but without the rapid technological leaps of industrialization. Social structures would likely remain more rigid, with limited social mobility. Global exploration and trade would continue, but without the dramatic acceleration brought by steam power and industrial production. Without factories churning out goods, life would indeed be more localized. You'd get your shoes from the local cobbler and your clothes from the tailor or seamstress. However, some trade networks would still exist, bringing luxury goods and new ideas from distant places, albeit at a slower pace. Social structures would generally be more rigid, with less opportunity to climb the economic ladder, though some social mobility would still occur through trade, education, or military service. The traditional elite, like landowners and aristocrats, would likely hold even more power and influence. Guilds would play a significant role in regulating crafts and commerce in urban areas. Rural areas would remain largely self-sufficient, with most people producing much of what they need. Innovation would still occur, but at a much slower pace, often driven by practical needs rather than scientific research. Education would be less widespread and more focused on practical skills and traditional knowledge. Progress indeed wouldn't come to a complete halt. Scientific discoveries would continue, albeit at a slower pace and often driven by practical needs rather than systematic research. There would likely be more focus on optimizing existing technologies like wind and water power. Improved windmills and water wheels might become more sophisticated and widespread. Transportation would evolve, with advancements in sailing ship design, such as better hull shapes and rigging systems, allowing for faster and more reliable maritime travel. Canal systems would likely expand, improving inland transportation and trade. However, without the rapid advancements in metallurgy and engineering brought by industrialization, the scale and speed of these improvements would be more gradual. Agricultural innovations might receive more attention, leading to improved crop yields and farming techniques. Medicine might advance through careful observation and experimentation with herbal remedies, though without the breakthroughs enabled by industrial-era chemistry and microscopy. Without the industrial advantage, European powers might not have achieved the same level of global dominance. Other civilizations with strong agricultural bases and established trade networks could potentially maintain or expand their influence. For instance, China might have retained its position as a global economic powerhouse, or the Ottoman Empire could have remained a major player for longer. African and Asian nations might have been better able to resist colonization, potentially leading to a more diverse global power structure. The Americas might have developed along different lines, with indigenous civilizations potentially retaining more autonomy. The Industrial Revolution indeed shaped our world in dramatic and far-reaching ways. This thought experiment vividly illustrates that history is not a predetermined path, but rather a winding road full of contingencies and potential alternatives. Without those clanging factories and billowing smokestacks, we'd be living in a profoundly different world, one that's challenging for us to fully imagine from our industrialized perspective.